Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we discuss the film Indiana Jones and Baby's First Trail of Clues 1 minute at a time. My name is Tom Taylor.
My name is Pete Mummert.
I'm Gerald Christopher. I'm so excited Marcus is back. I'm sure he's going to add so much to this story. Porter.
And we are joined once again by our old friend. She basically lives here with us, Professor Christy Porter.
Hi,
Welcome
guys.
back, Christy.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm not that old.
Hey.
Good to see you. No. Well, you know.
I don't live with my sister.
Grr.
No, not your sister. Anyway, we're all here for a big sleepover as we talk about minute 42 of Last Crusade. Minute 42 begins with Kazim telling Indy where he can find his dad, and it ends with Marcus remembering a map in Henry's diary.
Who's this guy that they tossed the rope to on the little jetty?
I love
Like,
that
is he a
guy.
member
I
of the
love that
Brotherhood? And
No,
is
he's
this
just
their
the dude at the
headquarters?
jetty. He's like sitting there while they have this entire conversation about your dad's being held here, whatever, cruciform, sword, everything. They're just like, here's your rope.
Well, that's why I wonder, is he like initiated? Like since it's not for his ears old, like is he allowed to hear this? Or is Kazim going to have to kill him afterwards?
I guess so. Maybe it's like in like Roman plays and tragedies and stuff. Like they just don't even pay any attention to like the slaves. Like they don't even count as people. Like they're overhearing stuff, but they don't even like think about it.
Pretty sure
It's
that's
like it's just the guy from the jetty. He doesn't care.
He's a
Whatever.
hired hat, is what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hired hat.
Oh, hired. See, I think he might be a novitiate for the cruciform. Brotherhood.
I was thinking
maybe.
that too.
Well, that explains why
I
he's
was
doing his job really, really well. He's like, "Ooh, I hope I make it. Hope I get promoted."
He's earning his rope badge.
Well, is this the headquarters? Is this the Brotherhood headquarters?
Oh. It's not just any jetty. It's the jetty
Yeah.
of the cruciform sword.
I will say, though,
'cause
this is kind of another lost world here we're looking at. Is now that, Venice has become such a tourist mecca, like even more so than it was in the 80s. You don't see a lot of these kind of decaying, crumbling palazzi like this anymore. And
Yeah.
they're all like, now it's all they're all been turned into Airbnbs and they're ultra modern inside. And this is kind of still a nice little look at what Venice used to be.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
Yeah, there are no jetties. Hey, I was going to ask you guys, if somebody said to you, drop me off at this jetty, would you guys know what they were talking about?
Only from like context clues or something. I wouldn't point at something. Oh, here, I'll let you off at this jetty. I would say like, oh, here, I'll let you off at this. I don't know, pier.
Well, how about a dock?
Yeah,
a
dock.
dock.
Yeah.
Because I thought about this. He's like, let me off at this jetty. I'd be like, do you mean the dock?
I'll let you off at the dock. I don't want to go all the way to the jetty.
Or if you'd like a pier.
Yeah, I could appear to take you to the jetty.
But
know?
I thought a jetty was kind of like a shorter version of it. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is
I
between
think a jetty
and
is a
pier.
longer version.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Well,
Oh.
Well, a jetty is sometimes a break wall, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I looked it up. A jetty can be a break wall. When you go to like, not that I would ever go to Sandals Resort, but they sometimes like you go to so what I've heard is that you have like
jetties to the left of
they'll
me.
have like a lagoon, with like a jetty, and it kind of sequesters basically where all the all those type of bougie people want to go swimming, but they don't want to actually be in the ocean.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The unwashed fish.
The unwashed fish. Exactly. We discussed these things last minute, but they do need to be revisited because I'm still confused. How does Kazim know where Indy's dad is? And why is Kazim going to let Indy go now? Like he's cool with the Grail being pilfered after 1,000 years. now? Like all of a sudden he's fine with this? Like what's all this we'll do anything talk?
No, suddenly he just seems to think that since Indy said, I'm not interested in the Grail, I'm just looking for my dad, he's like, oh, okay.
Well,
Like,
that's
you know,
a
he
great
takes that
question,
at face
though.
value.
Like, that didn't occur to me, but how does he know where his dad is unless they have a plant with the Nazis?
I've sort of assumed that they're watching the Nazis. They're watching anybody who's getting close to the Grail, and maybe they have spies there or something, or
Perfectly
So somebody had to
logical,
follow
tabs
but-
on them somehow.
But we have no information on that at all. Like the
Yeah.
the Nazis are real obvious about what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
what is it?
They
You
wear it
would
on their
use a
sleeves.
bulldozer to find a China.
Yeah.
Yeah. A metal cup.
Yeah. It does seem like they'd get kind of suspicious, though, if someone's following them around, like when they're escorting a prisoner to a castle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The Brotherhood, they seem pretty, well, I was going to say they seem pretty sly, but they're not that sly.
They're
They
not
just
at all
set fire
sly.
to like the entire underside of Venice.
They are totally not.
We need
yeah.
to see if there's like a guy in the a castle wearing a Nazi uniform with a red fez on, like an undercover.
Massive mustache.
Yeah, no, Chris, sir, you got a real itch in your crotch about
I
these
beg your pardon?
cruciform brotherhood.
Whoa, your sister.
Lie.
Sisters don't have crotches.
Or she's got a bee in her crotch, whatever it is.
A what?
A bonnet in
worse.
her.
Fellas,
You don't think these cruciform fellers are sly at all? You think?
No,
you
I'm
know,
very puzzled by the whole shtick here. I mean, they
Yeah.
run around like Keystone Cops. They wear zoot suits, for goodness sakes. They wear oversized flowers and fezzes, and then they drive motorboats through the middle of canals, shooting
Yeah.
in broad daylight. It's like high noon. It's nonsense. Oh, and then they.
They're on a
And
mission from God.
this is a non-fez town.
It is a non-fez
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
what you say. They are the only people in fezzes in this movie. So if there were like a whole fezzed population, a fezzed population, they would have shown up by now. But no, we just
No.
Yeah.
we've basically got fezzed clowns on bicycles and getting out of small cars and running around with horns. Exactly. It's just nonsense. Mm-mm. Not buying it.
So what if the Fez guys are working with the Nazis and they're just pretending to throw Indy off the trail? So he'll continue. He'll be like, oh, if these guys are trying to stop me,
These guys
I'm
couldn't
really
keep their
gonna
mouths
keep
shut
pushing
about
on.
that. These guys are so visible. They'd be like, oh, and then another thing, we're working with the Nazis. I guess it does amount to
Tell
a
'em
pain in
Kazim
my
sent you.
crotch, Chair. I guess it does.
They'd be on
Grief.
stilts. They're walking around on stilts the whole time.
Doing balloon animals.
That's right.
Oh, your dad's in the castle in Austria. Here's a giraffe.
That's right.
Want to smell my flower? Gotcha.
Not real sly.
Yeah. Well,
now that
maybe.
we're- oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so maybe they're really tied to Elsa here.
Oh, even better.
So that's how they know this
Yeah.
whole thing. It's not they're not trailing Indy, they're trailing Elsa.
so she's already been to the castle.
I don't know. I'm just thinking like they're trailing whoever is going after the Grail, and Elsa's been going after the Grail before Indy has.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's how the Fezzers know this whole story.
Well, I'm
and
just wondering how they know
Dad
where
is.
maybe she talks in her sleep.
Yeah.
Or
What?
something.
kind of an implication is
Pete,
this?
that's
No,
dirty.
What?
Well, they've got the room bug.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Sure they
right.
do.
That's good.
So they've got Kazim says your father's being held in the castle of Brunwald on the Austrian-German border, and it's on the Salzburg's on the way. So that makes it very interesting because that's exactly where Hitler's house is.
Oh.
And there are probably going to be a
Eagle's
lot
Nest?
of Nazis around there because
Is that right?
yeah, Berchtesgaden.
You talk about the eagle.
Yeah, and all the high-ranking Nazis that kind of followed suit and built houses or vacation houses in that area too. So this is like Nazi Central where they're going.
Huh.
But interestingly, the original script had instead of going to the castle in Germany, they were going to Krak de Chevalier, which is the famous Crusader castle in Syria, which was going to be where they held him.
Now that would be cool.
weird.
But I don't know if they. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
That would have made it hard to then get to Berlin and do the Zeppelin thing. And yeah, that would have been a different movie.
Yeah.
I wonder how many neighbors they had with fezzes in that town. My guess is not very many befezzed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No fezzes.
Well, before we get away from this scene, we're saying goodbye to Kazim for now, probably for the rest of the movie, I assume.
Yeah.
But I do want to. I think we said this before, but I actually really like Kazim. He's
I do
really
too.
cool.
I love him.
I like him a
Why?
lot.
Yeah, well, me
Why?
too.
Yeah.
He's got a big ridiculous mustache and a big ridiculous boutonniere and a big ridiculous suit, but he's great. There's something great about him. I'm not even sure what exactly.
He's confident.
He's sincere.
He's
like-
charismatic.
Yeah.
He's sincere.
He's legit.
Yeah. He's an honest,
Yeah.
kind, cool guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot you with a machine gun.
Yeah, where are you getting this? What?
Sure. It'd be an honor to be shot with a machine
Yes.
gun by him.
Yeah, his soul is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's yours,
He might
Christy?
even baptize you if he were to shoot you.
What?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Why do you think all these things about Kazim? I mean, yeah, he's confident, but why do you think he's kind? What have I missed?
Yeah, kind
He
might have
lets
been a
Indy
stretch,
go
but
as soon as
yeah.
he finds out that he loves his dad.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a heart.
I guess I'm thinking the later in the movie too, but
Well, that's just puzzling. All right.
Yeah.
okay.
What's your beef,
Carry on.
Christy? What's the matter?
why
He's
do you
nice.
hate
He's cool. He's
Kazim?
got a
I
mustache.
got a bee in my crotch.
Yeah, get that bee out of your crotch so we can have a conversation.
How am I supposed to sit still for this?
I don't like this episode. There's a bee in the crotch.
Well,
Crotch in my bee.
we go to the next scene, and I don't understand this. Is Indy allergic to derubbing? Because when Marcus pulls out derubbing, Indy's nose gets stuffed up again. He says, "How's the Ed?" He asks Marcus. He
go ahead.
says that it's supposed to be "How's your head?"
Yeah.
But he goes, "How's your Ed?"
He's trying out the accents. He's practicing his accents in case he needs one
He's
coming
right.
up.
He's like, and I think maybe there's some weird 1,000-year-old pollen from the Middle East on the on the rubbing or the shield, and it came with it because every time this rubbing appears, Indy gets a stuffed up nose.
I was actually thinking of that as
pretty
like kind
funny.
of like a nice weird attention to detail, like he's just been like soaked in the
Yeah.
water and everything, and then taking a shower, so he's a little stuffy
Oh.
and weird.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but then like the whole conversation with Kazim, he wasn't like that. So
That's
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Every time I take a shower at my parents' house, I start sneezing and stuff. I don't. There's some, like maybe he's just like allergic to like
Good to
the
know.
plumbing or something.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
there's a
know.
lot of
So
mold
I
in the
remember
shower.
I was
Yeah,
I was there for your childhood, okay, Tommy?
yeah. It's all sorts
About
of
going
reactions
about going
to
back
things.
home. Yeah, sort of like
Yeah.
emotional black mold.
It's like that episode where Hawkeye keeps sneezing when they bring the guy in, and he pushed me.
Yeah.
I loved him. I hated him.
And he held me down. My cousin.
He was goofing around.
So do you think this
then what is it?
Chinese table is a nod to Marco Polo?
No, maybe.
Oh, I have that.
Chinese
First of all, it's
table.
it's a beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Painted
Yeah.
table. And I think if you look at it, and I knew you were going to say something about this, Pete. If you look at it, it's somebody about to step across a river or chasm. So I thought it was foreshadowing again. Like there's a whole scene and the person's on one side, one bank, right?
Yeah.
And they're putting their toe in they're putting their toe in the river.
Yeah, he's on a
And
jetty.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on
He's on a jetty. He's not on a jetty.
a little foreshadowing.
I thought that.
And there's a bridge that you can see, and then there's clearly a bridge you can't see.
Well, if you can't see it, you're just making stuff up.
Jerry just knows.
Marcus actually says his head feels better now that I've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Grail offers eternal life. Does the rubbing offer like a headache cure thing?
No. Anyway, do we like that Indy's in a robe and
No.
kind of disheveled and kind of
No.
like... You don't?
No.
Really?
Oh,
interesting.
you
Why
got
not?
double note. I feel like we're playing Uno. And you did a reverse
Yeah,
and then a
reverse,
skip.
yeah. Now it's back
No,
to
I
you.
think at some point Brody Marcus just got to be like, dude, get your feet out of my face. Like, get those off the couch. That's disgusting. Like, he's sitting there with his bare feet right next to Marcus. And I just, God.
It's true.
Is that Indy's robe?
okay.
Did Indy bring that in his bag, or is that Donovan's robe? Is he doing like taking Lando's, like Han Solo taking Lando's clothes? Is this Indy taking Donovan's robe?
Yeah, maybe.
No, I think that's his robe.
It probably came with
You
the
think that's
place,
his robe?
Yeah. He's had to return it.
But I noticed he was drinking again, and it's broad daylight.
Yeah?
He always drinks with Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And he's always robed with Marcus.
He is.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm surprised. I'm not super into the whole robe thing either, but I kind of was expecting people to be like, oh yeah, he's cool, relaxed Indy, like on Sala's porch, just kind of, kicking back, relaxed. But
Well,
okay.
is he just showering off the petroleum or his own moral turpitude? Like, because I'm
Scrub
wondering,
all
is
he
this
wants. He's never going to get that.
You just wanted to say turpitude.
because maybe
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
of this. Maybe Kazim got to him.
Yeah?
He's like, "How's yours?" And like
just
he
scrubbing
comes back.
frantically.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just
I bet.
scrubbing frantically.
Red as
all,
a beet.
all of it.
Someone clean.
All I'm saying, exactly. Kazim really
Really did a
messed
number.
with him. Yeah.
Marcus, do you like my soul? How's my soul? Be honest.
Clean
You're
it
a
up,
friend.
Oh, Indy, I can't discuss that.
That was pretty good.
I'm looking at a revving. That's pretty good.
I have a serious question though, and it has to
Okay.
do with
Unlikely.
the plot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's get into this.
So is Alexandretta written in the upper left quadrant of the Wabung?
Well, it's weird.
Like,
I was
isn't
wondering
it-
that too.
But
I don't know.
Indy's still missing
He's-
a good part. He didn't rub the whole thing. If you notice, he only took part of the
Yeah.
rubbing, so he missed like a lot of the text. So they might be digging in the wrong place.
Whoa, no. Wait a minute. I thought they.
Why didn't he just
had
rub the entire shield? Why didn't he just start a new rubbing
Yeah.
of the
He
entire
had
shield?
the whole. I thought he had the whole rubbing.
No, but his rubbing, the part that he took on the shield, you can see that he only took like 2/3 of it. Like the left part of it, it doesn't have the words.
Lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lazy.
I can
Idiot.
look. I forget this every time I go to sleep. And we record a new one of these. The stone is it's missing the upper left quadrant. So that's why
Right.
they have to get the shield. And so the shield is a facsimile of the stone, but the shield is complete.
Right.
So they now see that it says Alexandretta because they have the complete rubbing of the
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm assuming that in the upper left quadrant, it says Alexandretta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guess so.
I guess so. Somewhere in that section, yeah.
Is
I
it
don't see
okay?
it, but yeah.
I'm not nuts. So that's what
Yeah.
Marcus unfolds,
Yeah.
and then he sees the name of the city
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. But to that point,
Okay.
I mean, Jerry, you always paint yourself as like a dummy when it comes to movies. And, I mean, sometimes you are. Sometimes I am. But sincerely, I don't follow this conversation that they have right now. Because Marcus mentions Alexandretta, and then he's like, oh yeah, Alexandretta was destroyed, and Skedron was built on its ruins. And he's like, hey, remember the thing about the crescent moon? But there's like zero connection between those things at all.
Well, it even gets better. He says, "Do you remember what the tablet said?" And you're like,
It's
"Motherfucker, it's in your fucking lap."
Remember that tablet that one time?
Yeah, and there's a rubbing of it, right?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's
Yeah, no, I just don't
okay.
get it. Yeah,
See, that's what. But so the movies make me feel stupid.
yeah. No, but
But
sometimes
I'm
the
not
movie's
stupid.
Jerry. Yeah,
He says, "Remember the tablet," and you're like, "You have the rubbing of it right there."
yeah.
It says Crescent
yeah.
Moon on your kneecap.
This movie owes you an apology, Jerry.
Truly.
Thank you.
It's making you feel
God,
bad
for
about yourself,
starters.
and that's not fair.
And Verizon Wireless.
Yeah.
You know who else
Definitely.
felt bad?
But yeah, if anybody could connect the dots between a Skedron and whatever crescent moon thing they're talking about, I will give you $1.
The only thing I had connecting Iskedron was it rhymes with Excedrin.
Yeah.
And I was like, Marcus has a headache.
Yeah.
That's not quite right. No.
By the Look, by the way, I can't believe that the cities that they mention here are actually real
Yeah.
cities.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Somebody
like
bought a map or
Alex,
something.
and what was funny is Alexandretta was founded or discovered or named for Alexander the Great, which I love. He named it after himself, and then you're like, but Alex, what about Alexandria?
Also,
And you're like, how many towns
Oh,
do
he
you
had a
need?
lot of
And
them. He had a bunch of them.
yeah.
I know, it's like
Alexburg.
he had
It's a little place with some
Alexville.
people. Yeah.
Remember, there was Alexander Dells.
Yeah.
Sure.
But at least they.
And I'm thinking, all I could think of is like George Foreman. He named all his kids George.
Alexander
It's
Falls.
like just another. It's like, oh my God, we just tore down this entire city and ransacked it, and here
Yeah.
comes Alexander the Great again. I wonder what he's gonna name it.
Alex's Corners.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Alex's Corners.
New Alexandretta.
Greater Alexandria.
Yeah.
Alex City.
Alex
Alex
Crossings.
City.
Oh, good. Good
Oh
one.
It is.
my
It is
God.
accurate though, in the sense that the Crusaders did conquer Alexandretta, and they actually the Knights Templar actually even built a castle there.
It's like they got excited that they had some actual historical facts, but then they forgot to
Right.
connect it
Yeah.
to the movie, like in
Yeah.
the next sentence.
So
Also, they're
that,
talking about
that
crescent
didn't
moons.
happen for Raiders. So what happened here, film guys?
What do you mean it didn't happen to Raiders?
Yeah, that's a good.
You mean like this leap?
Yeah, you mean like there was.
Well, like the plot mattered and the history mattered, and it was a little more linear, and it didn't make Jer feel
Yeah, the history you could
stupid,
follow. Yeah.
you know? Jer didn't. feel
Yeah, Jared
stupid.
didn't feel dumb during
No, he
Raiders.
didn't.
Not this kind of dumb.
Yeah, or he didn't admit it.
Yeah.
Different kind of dumb.
Well, maybe the
More of
tablet
like
says.
a Temple of Doom dumb.
Oh no, don't go there. Maybe the tablet says, because it says across the desert and through the mountain to the canyon of the crescent moon. Maybe it's across the desert from Alexandretta. Like maybe they just he made the leap that that's the starting point.
Oh, like maybe Marcus read that and they kind of understand.
Yeah, because
that,
Marcus
but-
is obviously reads the Latin, so maybe they've already
Yeah.
Yeah.
sort of been discussing this.
I guess so, but they could have shared that with the audience.
could have
because now
shared it
Jared
with the
feels dumb, and I'm with him.
This is Marcus really would have been feeling pretty bad here too. Denham Elliott had been diagnosed with AIDS not too long before they began filming this, and he
Are
was
you kidding me?
Yeah,
he was very sick
What?
during this whole shoot.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
You're kidding me.
No, that
Pete,
sucks.
What?
you don't
Wait,
just
he had
drop
been-
that
he
in
had
the
been
middle of the
diagnosed with-
episode.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Yeah, no, he was very.
We
ill.
should have brought it up
should've.
earlier so Jared
Yeah.
would go easy on him. He's been really
Yeah.
hard on Marcus.
I didn't know
I
that.
had no idea.
It wasn't enough
Yeah.
that he got shot down by the Germans and was a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's
goodness
right.
sakes!
When did he die? He died like not too long after this.
Right, mid
We
'90s,
should have looked this up.
'94.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Maybe not that.
I can't. You know, I
1992.
thought they say that
'92.
Oh, really?
they say Alexandretta was under siege for a year, and I thought so wiped clean by the wrath of God.
Yeah.
It does sound
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like that.
Well,
It does.
it's God's men, God's soldiers.
It's almost like the ring theory they keep talking about in Star Wars, like between the original movies and the prequels.
Right.
Like this is definitely echoing a lot of stuff from Raiders.
You've messed with my head, Pete, because at for a split second I was like, "Oh, that proves the Raiders and the Last Crusade are in the same unit." Oh, never mind.
Well, I think we've already proven that.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
You know, this room is really interesting because it's a very Temple of Doom, Willy Pastel sex palace type of room.
All right, no idea what you're talking about.
Like
None.
There's a lot of words.
it's like a deep mint shade.
Right.
That's not a
Oh.
color. Look, I painted houses for 5 years. This was not a color that was popular. Everybody wanted taupe.
Well,
or
yeah,
squash.
but you weren't painting in 1938. By the way,
Yeah,
That's
in
true,
Venice.
and
So-
I wasn't in
And you
Venice.
were painting a lot
I
of sex
actually-
palaces.
Well, I tried. That's how we build ourselves.
Paint is a
Sexuality.
strong word.
Interior designers.
So I
At your
looked a whole lot
service.
at this room, and I get nothing about Willie or Sex Palace here. What I do get is 1938. It's kind of interesting because it's not square, and I would like to know why the room is this shape. That was the first thing, and why, of course, it's this tremendous green, and then there's a sort of a salmon colored rug. So then I'm thinking it's a real place. It's an actual setting, and we're looking out to a building, okay, and all of the settings, all of the accessories in the room, all the set design things, are really kind of interesting. Like there's that Chinese table for no particular reason.
Well, I think it's a
except
Marco
that it has a
Polo
jetty.
call out. Yeah.
That's a
He was
good
from
point.
Venice.
That is a good point. So that's a good one.
Is this Donovan's apartment?
Yeah, he said
that
it.
owns?
I'm making my
Yeah.
apartment available to you.
So that makes sense that he'd have
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
so all that stuff is like it's probably from like the 8th or 9th or 11th century.
No.
Like actual from China.
No, that was his
It's
New York.
Donovan's.
No, that was his New York apartment. Well, the table might be. His New York apartment was very tastefully appointed and kind of contemporary, and this is definitely not. There's this ginger jar lamp over here on a pedestal. Doesn't go with anything. So there's a mirror on the wall.
He let his wife decorate this place.
Well, I guess so. Or I bet his wife actually did the New York thing one, and he did this one.
Yeah.
That's entirely possible.
Tired of
yeah.
living in the past, Donovan.
He's got that nice, like, kind of modern art fruit basket painting on the wall. It's sort of Peggy Guggenheim-esque.
Oh yeah.
Yep, sconces and stuff. So this looks very, very different from his New York apartment, and there really, except for that table, there really isn't very much in the way of artifacts. Like there were artifacts just everywhere in his
He does
New
have-
York apartment.
All the ancient books, like, also twisting their spines and leaning over in here.
Yeah.
It's not a very nice way to treat books.
That's Donovan right there.
Yeah, that's his
That is,
calling card.
I thought this was that's Donovan. I thought this was a hotel, but you're right. I guess so. I guess that's his house / Venetian townhouse.
Yeah,
thing.
that's like his pied à terre in Venice.
Yeah.
So is that the same place as the jetty?
No.
Is that the
'cause
walk-up?
No, the jetty was where they dropped off Kazim. That was his house.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Kazim's house. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Kazim's taking a shower in this room.
Yeah.
It was the headquarters.
He doesn't know Marcus, but he will. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Indy, after that little Kazim scene, Indy was quite happy with himself. He says, your father's in a castle on the Austrian, German border. And Indy kind of turns to Elsa. He's like, yeah, that's why it's me.
Oh,
That's why it's me.
He was excited that he
Yeah.
had a lead he could actually understand. He's like, okay, that's a place I can go to. Is that some crescent moon by way of Alexander something or other? Yeah.
good point.
Well, we get Indy Marcus seems to have to give Indy this epiphany here, where Indy he says, your father would know. He did know. He made a map. And it's nice in the background. You hear kind of either a church bell or a clock or a ship's bell chiming.
No.
But
It's like the what's his name? The imam, Doug Henning. It's like his wind chimes or something.
oh yeah.
Come.
Sit down.
But why doesn't Indy make the connection to the map right away? Like he's been looking at it the entire flight over.
He's drunk as a skunk. Look at him going. Like the last frame of this minute, he's just like,
Yeah. He needs to get his feet off the couch. That's driving me crazy.
Wait, are his feet on the couch? I don't see that.
I don't see that.
I believe you, but it looks like his feet are on the ground in front of him.
No, when he first opens up the rubbing,
Maybe.
and he's got his feet like up on the arm of the couch next to
That's
Marcus.
ridiculous. Why
really?
why would a grown man put his feet on the couch?
And they're on the couch right next to Marcus. It's just
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah. Oh, that is gross. Yeah, Marcus probably had a view all the way to Salzburg. That's disgusting. The way he's sitting.
Could see you be in this crotch, I'm sure.
Yeah, I saw the bee in his crotch. Indy, watch out, you got a bee in your crotch.
Ow.
Oh my God! Speaking of bee in our crotches, I'm talking about you and me, sis. This just in from the eldest and smartest pig that built her house out of brick.
Sweet Lord.
That's our smartest sister.
That is our smartest.
Mimi Porter, Esquire. Across the desert and through the mountain to the canyon of the Crescent Moon. And then the bells outside chime. Why?
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
she says why?
Why? Yeah. It is, as you mentioned, Pete, it is conspicuously placed, those bells.
Well, I think it's like chiming. Oh, he's on the right track. He's like suddenly he realizes, like, what do you call it? Fisher Price's Indy's first clues or Indy's first.
Yeah, baby's first trail of clues. Yeah.
Exactly.
When you find the first clue, turn the page, and then you hear the chimes, and that's how you turn the page of the diary.
So this is
There's your answer, big sis.
so this is a movie that'll give signal that for me, but they won't connect the other more plot points. All right,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Trust us. Yeah, Skedron, Crescent Moon, they know what they're talking about somehow.
Very good then.
Well, if that does it for 42, by golly, Christy, thank you for joining us
Oh,
again.
my pleasure. Big fun.
We wouldn't know what to do without you.
You'd figure it out.
Please come back again
Okey-doke.
sometime. Okay.
Done and done.
Everybody out Everybody out there, you don't have to leave, but you can stay here, but you can come back tomorrow. But first, while you're waiting for us to come back tomorrow, you should go visit us at indianajonesminute.com, where you can find all our past episodes. You can find our charming trading cards for every episode. You can find out about us and our guests and everything else, links to all our stuff. So please do that. And then please come back tomorrow for minute 43 of this movie, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
I'll add.
Rubbing. Rubbing.
Nothing can penetrate this stuff he does.